CNBC-TV 18 Weekender.
Hello and welcome to this very special episode of The Weekender. Hope you guys are having a good day, because if you're not, our guest today is a fan of movies. He'll find you and feed you. Varun Berry, the MD of Britannia Industries, joins us now. Thanks a lot, Varun, for joining in.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
You worked for Pepsi for 20 years, almost 20 years. Before that, you were with Unilever and now 4 years with Britannia. You must be a compulsive snacker, are you?
Compulsive snacker and drinker, you mean?
Okay, yeah, Pepsi drinker, if I may.
Right. The problem with me is that if I snack, I put on weight like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
So I've got to be really, really careful about what I put into my mouth. And that prevents me from being a compulsive snacker.
Is that the reason behind the Nutri Choice range of biscuits in Britannia?
No, it was launched before I came into Britannia, but I love the 5-grain Nutri Choice biscuits.
Alright, so let's talk business, Varun, you've been amazing for the company's operational performance. That's on record. The time you joined, the margins were around 7%. Now they are 14%. Is that trajectory likely to continue? 14% EBITDA margins. Can we better that going forward?
Well, it's very important to be optimistic about what we can do. I certainly think that it can be better. Obviously, it's going to be a hard trek. It's not going to be an easy trek from here on. We've gotten to a stage where we are, way beyond where we were and way beyond what we thought we would be. And, the team is completely like a dog on a bone. And they're looking at each and every possibility of cost savings.
Right. So, have the lowest hanging fruits been plucked away as far as your operational performance is concerned? Now, as it gets tough, what kind of margins can we expect? Can you better, say, 16, 17, 15, the wide range of analyst expectations that there are on the street?
We don't give forward-looking statements, so excuse me for this. But let me tell you one thing. I just want to bring one thing out here. The fact is that from a manufacturing standpoint, we are only a 12, 13-year-old company, right? Because this industry was, a small-scale protection kind of an industry. We started our own manufacturing just about 12, 13 years back. So we've learned the ropes quite well, but let me tell you that every day we unearth more potential on costs.
Where is the cost saving coming in from? What is your brief to the new CFO?
So it comes from supply chain. It comes from the recipe. It comes from wastages. It also comes from sales and marketing. The kind of margins, the kind of the discounts that we give to our customers, etc. So it's all across. But I would say the bulk of it stays in the area of supply chain.
The next leg of growth, where will that come from? Volumes, margins, or increased distribution?
Now, you're asking me such difficult questions, but I can tell you it'll have to come from everything, right? So, if you were to look at top line, you're right. We've grown well in times where categories haven't been growing fast enough. But I do think that even within the categories that we operate in, there are ample opportunities, and I've said this many times and I'm repeating myself when I say this. There are subcategories within biscuits where obviously we are not as strong as we would like to be, right? The premium creams category, we used to be 75% share, today we are 35% share. We've got to inch our way back there, right? The whole value category, value creams, value cookies, we are a very small share, we're a single-digit share. So there's opportunity there, and these are not unprofitable categories, they are reasonably profitable categories. So there are categories like that where we have opportunities, and we are going to make sure that we leave absolutely nothing to chance, and we, figure out what needs to be done to, get better shares there. Then there are some emerging categories, which are the super premium categories within biscuits, which we are taking the lead on, and that's moving the right direction. But besides that, think about cakes. Cakes. As we remember, as we've grown up, cakes is such a delightful category. If we are able to bring recipes and formats which are very different, truly delightful, technologically advanced, I think that can be a huge category. Similarly, rusk. Today we have a vanilla rusk. It's a bread which is double baked,
Right.
And our biggest innovation is milk rusk, right? They can be, if you were to go to the international market, if you were ever to travel to Paris or any of these advanced countries, you will see the kind of formats that exist there. Breads of the world, with all sorts of ingredients, healthy rusks, delightful rusks, etc. Then there are certain categories which we haven't even gotten into, and they are still in the bakery space, right? We haven't even gotten to. The country hasn't gotten to.
What would those categories be?
There are lots of those categories. There are bars, there are croissants, long shelf life croissants, all sorts of things. And those are the categories which could be the new dawn for the bakery category in India. And then there is everything beyond that, right? Then there are all the other macro snacking categories, which are salty snacks, which are chocolates or chocolate-based categories, etc. So there are lots out there. And frankly, as a strong food brand, we have a right to succeed.
Varun, if I have to look at Britannia, say a few years from now, will it still be the bakery major, which is into biscuits, cookies, as well as cakes, or is there a chance of moving into other categories too?
Well, Britannia is certainly going to be a total foods company. I can promise you that. So we are going to look at not just a lot of space within bakery, where either we are weak or we are non-existent, and also look at outside of that in the entire macro snacking space, where I think there are lots of potential opportunities.
Throw some more light on that. Are you looking at Britannia chips, Britannia pancake mixes, Britannia noodles, Britannia what?
Believe me, I won't be able to share it with you. Maybe we'll have the same interview a couple of years from today, and we'll talk about what we've done. But what we are doing is we are evaluating each and every niche, each and every crevice in each and every category that we are in and we aren't in, so that we can figure out which are the products which are going to take us to this new avatar of being a total foods company.
So you're taxiing right now. When does the takeoff happen?
The takeoff actually is going to happen very soon, because one of the categories we are very close to finalizing. So I would think that by the end of the year, the takeoff will happen in one of the categories, and that could be a really groundbreaking category for a country like India.
Are you a fan of Apple and Apple products and Steve Jobs?
I think Steve Jobs was a whiz kid. He was an amazing guy. His thinking, his discipline, design thinking more than anything else was something else.
I asked that question primarily because I see a lot of parallels when you talk about the new category that you're going to launch. Very disruptive, very soon, the veil of secrecy. I heard your con call.
I wish I could be 0.1% of what Steve Jobs.
And this is going to be the biggest bet of my life, is what you said to an interviewer as well.
No. I wish I was 0.1% of Steve Jobs.
All right, we'll keep that secrecy intact right now. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk more about Britannia and Varun Berry. Hang on.
CNBC-TV 18 Weekender.